Hello everybody and welcome to Tiger Tales, a place where you'll find stories and fanfictions written and read to you by your host, me, Tai Tiger. Quick note, I just want to apologise about my voice. I went on holiday for a week to go see my dad's side of the family. I have two younger siblings and I did a lot of screaming with my son and my brothers, and it was a lot of fun, and my voice took the blunt end of it. So this is me recovering from losing my voice, so quick apologies. But let's dive into a brand new storyline. This is actually my second Naruto storyline on the channel, but I ended up deleting the first chapter to the first storyline I did. I kind of realised that it wasn't exactly the best, and I wanted to restart it and rebuild it from the ground up. And funny enough, the voice actor in this chapter is actually a huge Naruto fan and is going to be helping me. So, that being said, let's dive into the brand new storyline. This story takes place after the events of Naruto Shippuden, but before the events of Boruto, Naruto The Next Generation. So there is plenty of foreground here and a lot of space I can play with, where I'm not going to affect any of the main continuity, because of course I don't want to be doing that. This takes place when Kakashi Hatake, the 6th Hokage, and current Hokage at the time, has to tell three Chunin, who are now labelled Team 5, who have just lost their sensei, and he has to break the bad news. So let's dive in with our brand new storyline, with Revenge and Honor, A Tale from the Hidden Leaf Village, Chapter 1, Team 5's First Step. The 6th Hokage, Kakashi Hatake, stood before Team 5. He looked at them with sad eyes.
Hokage, what's going on?
The tallest of the trio barked. He stood there at 6 feet tall, with short black spiky hair, his headband placed across his forehead like most did. He wore a top with his clan logo on the back, his combat shorts were baggy, and he had black sandals. His name was Shikagaru Nara. "Well, I've had to bring you in to deliver bad news, I'm afraid," Kakashi went on to say. "Well, what is it then?" the second one blurted. He was a medium-sized build, with long black flowy hair. He wore a baggy jacket with a fur hood. He had his clan marks on his face. He wore combat shorts as well, with sandals. His headband was placed on his arm just under his shoulder. His name was Ryuken Inuzaku, and next to him was his black and white dog. He was a teenager and went by the name Koinu. "It's about your sensei," Kakashi told them. "Wait, is Sensei okay?" the third one asked. He was the shortest of the three, and wore a dull grey top and black trousers. His hair was blonde, and he had a headband as a belt. He had purple marks across his face, a huge scroll placed on his back. His name was Tayo. His mother was a woman from the Hidden Leaf Village, and his father reigned from the Hidden Sand Village. He was murdered last night by a group of rogue ninjas, who have not yet been identified," Kakashi said solemnly. "What?" Ryuken barked.
What happened?
Shikagaru asked. "He went on a late night mission. Last night I had a signal from one of those close by fishing villages. Well, some rogue ninjas were there. They were close to being harmless, but of course, as Hokage, I had to make sure. I sent a squad there. 2 of them were injured. One of them died," Kakashi explained. "You mean Sensei?" Tayo asked through his teeth. "Yes, you have full right to be angry, but I'm afraid you cannot act here," Kakashi told them.
Hang on, you want us to stay here and do nothing?
Shikagaru asked bluntly. "I, as Hokage, and a human being, cannot ask 3 teenagers, fueled by loss and grief, a mission to capture the murderer of their sensei. Can I?" Kakashi snapped. "Capture? Those bastards deserve death," Ryuken growled, then Koinu barked. "Easy, boys. You are just proving my point here," Kakashi sighed. "So now what?" Tayo asked. "You 3 are remain here. I'm going to send a squad who can handle this S-rank mission, and hunt down the rogue ninjas, and bring them in," Kakashi explained to Team 5.
This is such bull, man,
Shikagaru muttered. "I understand your frustration, but you need time to heal from this. Grieve properly. Let yourself feel this. The last time we sent a squad after grieving their sensei, it did not end well. Sort of. Then, when you guys are ready, I'm sure there is a mission for you that I can find," Kakashi told them. "Wait, you're benching us?" Tayo asked. "I am afraid so," Kakashi sighed. The 3 boys wanted to argue back, but they knew they weren't going to get anywhere, so they left the Hokage's office. After leaving the building, they strolled through the village, feeling a little lost in themselves. They sat down on a set of steps and watched some of the villagers phase through their lives.
We need to get those bastards,
Shikagaru muttered. Agreed, Ryoken replied. Yeah, but the Hokage said we were benched, Taiyo sighed. Koinu laid down and whined slightly. Ryoken then stroked his dog's head. Who says we have to listen? Ryoken suggested as he dug into Koinu's ear.
You want us to go anyway? To go against the Hokage's orders?
Shikagaru asked. Yeah, why not? Ryoken shrugged. Look, here's our sensei. He pulled us together because we were loners in the academy, and he thought we would gel well together. And he was right. We have been Team 5 for a whole year. We are good ninjas because of him. He trained us and fought for us. He made us better people. If anyone should bring in his killers, it's us, Taiyo muttered.
He has a point.
Shikagaru shrugged. Then let's do it. Let's go get Sensei's killers, Ryoken growled. The morning turned afternoon. The afternoon turned to evening, and the sun started falling down past the forest that surrounded the village. Team 5 all landed by the entrance, now carrying camping bags. They checked on the guard, who was sat there holding a cup of steaming hot tea. Okay, we know the plan. You want to sort this out? Ryoken said to Shikagaru.
Yeah, sure.
Shikagaru replied. He weaved a few hand signs together, landing on the rat hand sign.
Shadow possession jutsu,
he muttered. Then his shadow became long and reached out and connected to the guard's shadow, connecting the two ninjas together. Shikagaru then pretended to hold the cup of tea and then pretended to tip it on himself. Then the guard repeated the action, actually spilling the actual boiling hot tea on himself. Then Shikagaru released the jutsu, whilst the guard started calling out as the spilt tea was burning him. The guard ran into the hut that was close by to sort himself out. Then Team 5 took their chance and ran out the door and ran into the forest, leaving their village behind them. No turning back now, boys, Taiyo muttered.
We have to have each other's backs when it comes to this mission,
Shikagaru stated. Agreed, Ryoken nodded. Team 5 then jumped up and started jumping through the trees, from branch to branch, gliding over the pathway below. They carried on through the trees till the moon was high in the sky, and there was enough distance between the village and themselves. They stopped on a big, thick tree, and set up camp in the huge branches of the tree. We sleep on the branches tonight, boys. We have a rogue team ninjas, and, of course, our parents, and every ninja's above us, and is going to be after us. So we're kind of sandwiched here, Taiyo muttered.
We can use the leaves as cover anyway, unless they have a good tracker or a chakra sensor,
Shikagaru commented. Doubt they would ask anyone to leave the village now, anyway. It would be in the morning. We sleep till sunrise, Ryoken muttered. Koinu lay down on the branch and had one of his paws hanging off. They all got comfy, and eventually they all fell asleep. Till the sun started to rise, the beams of light breaking through the leaves and attacking their faces. They all got up sluggishly. Koinu and Ryoken both landed on the ground, and both dog and ninja started to sniff the ground and trees. I think we're safe, Ryoken told them. Shikagaru and Taiyo landed on the ground, fully geared up.
The village is due south,
Shikagaru muttered, pointing behind him. Let's start moving then, shall we? Any second now, we're going to have 2 squads, maybe 3, on our asses, Taiyo sighed. 1 for the rogue ninja, 1 for us, and 1 for backup, Ryoken questioned. Team 5 then took 5 minutes to sort themselves out. They started snacking on something whilst they walked. When they finished, they jumped up into the trees and started bouncing from branch to branch once again. They reached a small fishing village which sat on the edge of a huge river. They landed on the ground and walked over the bridge which connected the 2 sides of the river. They walked into the village and walked around. They found the cafe which had now been closed down, with several yellow tapes covering the huge hole that had been blasted through the wall. A woman stood there in front of the cafe, a sad look in her eyes. The boys looked at the cafe, then the woman clocked them. She saw their headbands and approached them. Hello. Sorry, I saw your headbands and thought I'd ask. Did you know the ninja who saved us night before last? The woman asked. Yeah, he was our sensei, Ryoken muttered. Oh, I'm so sorry. He saved me and my father, she told them.
I'm glad he died with honor,
Shikagaru nodded. You boys seem angry, which is understandable, but I have to say it was an accident, the woman told them. What does that mean? Tayo asked, confused. So, there were these road ninjas, no headbands, seemed a bit lost. We served them. They were nice men, not nasty or threatening in any way to anyone. Then these thugs came in. My father owed them money, and the road ninjas managed to beat them. The 3 ninjas came after and tried to subdue them, but they fought back. Your sensei fell back and landed on his neck. They were all shot, and we had a bone break. The 2 road ninjas ran away, and they were scared. I don't know, the woman explained. Team 5 all looked at each other. They did not know whether to believe the woman.
Where did they go?
Shikigara asked her. They ran that way, outside the village, the woman explained, pointing behind her. Shikigaro then walked the way she was pointing. The other 2 thanked the woman and chased after him. Hey, Shikigaro, are we seriously going after them still? Tayo asked. Shikigaro stopped, turning around to face his team.
Sensei died, accident or not. Now we know there's more than one. These men are dangerous.
Shikigaro snapped. I agree, Ryoken muttered. Koinu whined and sat next to Ryoken. Okay, fine, but we better keep moving. They have a day ahead of us, and all we know, the Hokage will be sending someone after us by now. And God knows how many teams he sent after us, Tayo muttered. Team 5 left the fishing village and headed into the forest that was sat behind it. They stuck to the riverside as they advanced on their sensei's killers. And there we have it, guys. Our first Naruto chapter to a little bit of growing storyline. There will be another storyline at least combined to this one. I kind of want to be going advancing on my love for Naruto. It's one of my favourite animes, and I just want to do some fan fictions here. So this is another new story. As you can kind of tell, I've been diving in for some new stories in April. Well, that being said, I want to thank our voice actor, A-Crown. He is actually a huge Naruto fan, so you should go follow him on TikTok and stuff. You would also recognise him because he's Roy Harper or Arsenal in my War Games Gotham storyline. With that being said, don't forget to follow the 3 Range Bro Studios, who is myself, Cosplay2637 with his 2 podcasts, Storytime with Cosplay2637 and Power Rangers Universe 19. You'll find many different storylines in both, and I'm sure you'll find something that you love there. Go check out Mark, the 3rd member of the Red Cornish Ranger, with his podcast Naruto Comics, which he's adapting comic books into audio dramas. He's got original storylines, and he also shares some of my content as well, because, you know, he's a bro. We're in association with Zero to Hero, which is the Balkan Scholar podcasting. Buddy and Jim, the 2 brothers, talk about many different fandoms, including, of course, Power Rangers. They also talk about some anime as well. And, of course, they interview several people about their shared fandoms, including the 3 Ranger Bros. So you should go check them out as well. That being said, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think of the bunch of new storylines I'm throwing at you. And I shall see you guys really soon.